Hey, good morning, everybody. 4:50 this morning. So there's my website and my phone number. So today we will be working on the 6-meter amplifier. So I had to put the other work aside for a day, and I will be getting some stuff done on this. So today I will be installing the plate blocking caps and at least the L inductor, because this will utilize an L-Pi output network to help with the stray inter-electrode capacitance between the grid and the plate. So I'm going to cut my copper material. I take my template. So this will be supported right here. So I'm going to cut these and then punch the holes. Basically, actually no, it'll be right here. So the L-Pi will, once I change my, actually it's going to probably be mounted like this. So that could change. So I'm going to either have the L inductor come off the side of the tube and go to the plate blockers, or I might have the plate blockers closer to the tube and then have the L inductor go from the plate blockers to the C1 plate tune vacuum variable capacitor. So I'll have, I'm pretty sure I'm going to use that divider wall. I don't think that I can mount the vacuum variables to it due to the length of the front of the vacuum variable. I need an adapter, which would make it so I have to bring it back a little bit. So I'll probably use a wall here and just bring it back a hair, and then have a larger hole so the puller can go through. That wall will still give me the RF shielding on the meters, and you already have it, so why not use it? So cabinets come with the holes pre-drilled for that wall, and it has those press-in nuts as the so screw will come through the outside perimeter and secure it. So I'm going to get to work. This is copper flashing. I buy at the, I had some silicone I have to peel off, but this is copper flashing I buy at the home builder store, like where they sell building materials. And I take my scissors. They work better than like tin snips or whatever. Give a cleaner cut. And this is a good gauge. It's the thicker of the flashing. They have two different thicknesses. This is the thicker stuff. So it's good for coils. If you make tank coils, stuff like that, for the higher frequencies, you get the surface area for the skin effect. But so I'm gonna get started on that, and I will be back. It's getting 4 HT57 series 200 puff 15 kV DC ceramic doorknob caps, 4 in parallel, brand new ones, and those they're not cheap. The price has gone up, but price of everything's gone up. Okay, so I'm gonna get to work. I will see you guys soon. Okay, so I have both pieces cut. You always want to cut, like I cut the edge and then I round it off with a file. You never want a sharp point anywhere where you have a high voltage, because that will promote an arc. So I always do that. So I'm going to take this piece right here. This is aluminum, so I'm going to take this, and what I'll do is I'm going to punch the center hole, and then I will put a screw through it with a nut and sandwich them together, and then I will punch the other holes, do one at a time, put a screw through it just to keep everything lined up. And then, so this is the support. Actually, I'm not going to punch the center one yet because I don't know how I'm going to mount these yet. So if they'll be horizontal or vertical. You know, I'm gonna place some bubble wrap, and I'll place the vacuum variable. You want everything, you know, all the part placement planned out and, you know, figured out, you know, before you drill your first hole. That's very important. You don't want to wing it. So anyway, punch these 4 holes first. I'll put, you know, a screw and nut, you know, through to hold it in place, and just to make sure they're in the exact spot. I mean, I could punch them, you know, if you were going to drill them, but it's just so much easier using the Roper Whitney hand punch, because copper can get away from you when you're drilling it. You have to go have a piece of wood on the other side, and can't tell you how many times in the past it's got caught by the bit and then spun and then cut me. You know, so anyway, so that's how I like, you know, lining all the holes up. You know, I could, like I said, you know, I could punch it, or I could use a marker and then try to punch all of them, but this keeps them all perfect. So then once I punch those 4 holes, I will do the same over here. So I will punch through one of the holes that I had already punched, and I'll put a screw through it, and then I'll use the holes in this one as a guide to punch the holes in the bottom one. And then I mark this with a pencil or marker, and I'll wipe it off after, as, you know, top, like TT for top, you know, the top one, and then, you know, then bottom top, you know. So when I go to put the caps in, they all line up perfect, just like I did with that. Did the same thing. So I use that template. You know, I put it down on the floor and put a screw through, and used my drill on the other ones, you know, to make sure all these holes were lined up perfect, so I didn't have to notch anything. They all lined up. So okay, so I'm going to get to work on that, and I'll show you my punch that I use. You can get these at a craft store. I don't know what they cost nowadays. You can get them on eBay too. I think they're about 30 bucks or so. 30, 40 bucks. But I want to buy some more, so I constantly have to change the punch size in it. So I'd like to have, you know, one with each one, so I don't have to. There's just time. It adds more time to everything. So, okay, I'll be back. I will see you guys shortly. Okay, I'm back with the plates. They have been cut. Corners rounded off. Marked it bottom, top, and I put a line right there, so I know they line up like that. So the cap holes will line up perfectly between the top and the bottom. Here, these are the screws I'll use, and I will use internal tooth washers, lock washers. So I'm going to get back to work. See you soon. Okay, I'm back. The 2 vacuum variables have been mounted, and I'm going to show you. So I ended up putting the shaft bushings in the front panel. The vacuum variable pullers right there. I don't have the shafts installed right now, but there we go. That's called an L-Pi network. This will cancel out some of that extra capacitance. So I'm going to have to trim these. These are the same length, just shaped differently. So this will allow me to shorten it. I'll probably have to shorten this one because of this extra inductance right here. But that one might have to be shortened a hair. We'll see when I get the rest of it done, and I can put in the proper resonant load resistor between the anode and ground. And I'll backfeed it with my analyzer. So, as you can see, nice and clean. Got the 4 plate blockers right here. I soldered this brass screw backwards, you know, so the stud's pointing upwards. So, and this is notched, so this will move in and out just a hair. This is a temporary clamp for now, but you see how this strap is soldered to this strap, goes directly to the anode, shortest amount of length as possible. I didn't want the plate blockers too close to the chimney, but proper clearance there. The 2 inductors are at right angles to each other. So this is a trick I've been using. They use this in a lot of broadcast transmitters. Also Henry Radio used the same method in some of their RF generators. So this is a clip that just clips right onto one of the anode fins here. It's similar to what they use on edge wound inductors. So nice short lead over to the plate choke, and it's Teflon insulated wire with silver plated stranded center conductor. So these, when these are tuned, they'll end up getting soldered to this copper plate here. I'm not going to solder this one just so this can come off. It's soldered down below on the bottom plate, and I have 1-inch standoffs, so everything's at 3 inches or almost 3 inches away from ground, so I won't add any more extra capacitance to the circuit. So that's what it looks like. So I worked on this for a couple days. Now unfortunately I have to get back to regular amplifier work. I'm still super loaded here with work and building up, doing this kind of stuff is just to keep my skills sharp. Like I've said before, it doesn't pay really to build anything, whether it's solid state or tube. I primarily repair amplifiers. So, but this is turning out to be a really cool, fun project. It's coming out pretty clean so far. I'll be mounting 2 RJ2B vacuum relays over here, and once again the lead length will be super short between the load tuner and the relays, and then I'll have S as in sugar Frank Thomas SFT-600 Teflon coax going from the vacuum relays over to a 7/16 DIN. So that's about it for now. I need to clean the ceramic off. I've been handling it. It's unfortunate Jennings is no longer around. They've been out of, they're out of business. They've been out of business. So this nice little vacuum cap. You can still source these. This was new on eBay. So give you another good look. Oh, one other thing. I always add material. This has like a right angle piece at the base of this, as you can see, and it has I don't have all the screws in yet, but it has press-in nuts to hold it in place. But I added a right angle piece of aluminum at the base because you want a really good path, electrical path between the plate tune cap and the tube grid. So it goes it goes across the entire length, and it's secured by multiple screws, both sides here and the wall, and it's good. So thanks for watching. If you need an amplifier repaired, please feel free to give me a call. Like I said before, I'm not really checking my email too much, so it's best just to call or text. I'm just so swamped here, and I can't wait till this is done. So I'll be back very soon, and basically just have to throw the relay, install the relays, not throw them in, put the output connector in, and do a few other things, and make sure the feed through SWR is nice and flat, and tune the output network. And then this thing, the RF deck portion will be done. Just waiting on the custom plate transformer. When I get that, I'll put the power supply together, and we'll be good. Oh, someone made a comment about tarnish. See, this is silver plated, there's tarnish. Socket has tarnish on it. I think I've said before, tarnish does not change anything. It does not inhibit the characteristics. It doesn't, degrade the electrical connection. It actually, if anything, increases it from what I've read online. So you have to be careful when you try to clean silver, because you can end up taking off the silver. I've seen that a lot of times. People have tried to take the tarnish off, and then they end up taking the silver off, and then they go down to the copper. So yeah, it might look a little bit better, but end up with like a mixture of silver plating and copper when there's really no need. But it is important to clean, to make sure on the tube, the ceramic portion between the plate and the grid, and here on the vacuum variable, that it's clean, here between. So this is a ground potential, this is hot, hot. So, this is the point where it can end up flashing. So I just clean that really well. My hands are dirty. So, giving one more good look. So, lots of clearance. Okay, thanks for watching, and I will be back very soon. That's why I didn't put a video on yesterday. I've been busy on this. So, have a great day. 73.